Do you want to impress your friends and family with how strong you are? Want to build great upper body and abdominal strength? Well, we're going to show you the one exercise to master strength over 50. Hey, it's Ollie and Gaz, and we're here to help you master the strength to handle everything that life throws at you.
That's right, but I bet you want to know what the exercise is. It's the push-up.
Now, quickly, before you stop the video because you just think push-ups are far too hard and you'll never be able to master them, you should know that a lot of our online members tell us the exact same thing. So in this video, we're going to give you the tips that we give to our online members to help them master the push-up.
The push-up is a great exercise for building strength in the muscles of the pecs, the deltoids, the triceps, and the abdominals. And this strength can help you to do things like get up off the floor and to lift heavy objects over your head. The strength in your shoulders is also helpful for building resilience against injury and pain.
Now, when people think of the push-up, they think of the full body weight version, so that puts them off. But you can get all of those benefits starting with something much more manageable. So let's go through the push-up from the easiest to the hardest version. Okay, the easiest variation of the push-up is the wall push-up. So for this one, you just need a nice solid wall. You're going to start by taking your feet about a foot or two away from the skirting board there. Hands about shoulder height and about shoulder width, but you can experiment to find what feels best for you. And all I'm doing is slowly lowering my nose towards the center of my hands like that. And this is a great option if you are someone who experiences any shoulder or elbow pain because it's nice. It's a nice low load as a starting point. The only limitation with this one is that the wall blocks your head. So it's quite a reduced range of movement, which is why we always start with the wall push-up as a starting point before ideally progressing to some of the other versions we're going to show you.
The first progression from the wall push-up is the kitchen bench push-up. And as you can see, we've rigged up our own little kitchen bench box here for your benefit. So,
little DIY.
How do we do the kitchen bench push-up? You're going to start facing the bench. Your hands are on the corner, over the edge. Take a step away from the bench such that you can lower your chest, so your sternum in the middle of your chest, hopefully directly towards the corner of the bench, like so. Now, your hands don't have to be perfectly shoulder width apart. You can vary the width of those to make it a bit more tolerable for you. What else might you want to do, Ollie, to make it more tolerable?
Yeah, now a lot of people find that the edge of the bench, particularly like a marble bench, can be a little bit oppressive on the palms. So a great idea is just to get a towel and put that on the edge. And that's just going to make it more comfortable, particularly if you have things like hand osteoarthritis or any issues with the wrists. Yeah, okay, right. Now one other great tip, Gaz, is to make sure you keep a nice straight line between your shoulder and your ankle, particularly as you're lowering down.
That's right. And in order to do that, you may have to lift your heels up off the floor and be on the balls of your feet. Now, the kitchen bench push-up inherently more challenging than the wall push-up for a couple of reasons.
Yep.
One of which is your shoulders have to go through a greater range of motion, or they're able to go through a greater range of motion as you lower your chest down towards the bench. And the fact that you are more horizontal means that the force acting on you, or the force required from your upper body to perform the movement, is greater as well.
Okay, and you'll notice that with our next progression as well.
If you're over 55 and you want to improve your strength, then we have heaps more exercise videos just for you on our channel. So make sure you subscribe.
All right, once you've mastered the kitchen bench push-up, we're going to graduate you down to a even further leaning forward position with the knee push-up on the seat of a chair. So Gaz has got his knees on a towel for comfort. Now you could make that even more comfortable with a nice soft cushion. Same principles apply as the kitchen bench push-up. He's got his hands about shoulder width apart, but once again, experiment to find what works for you. This time he's dropping his chest in between his hands, but he's got a nice straight line between his shoulder and his knee now. And he's bringing his hips with him as he leans forward onto the bench.
That's right. There is a real temptation with this variation to leave your hips behind and keep them put there, which is going to do a bit for your arms and your shoulders, but it's not nearly going to be as beneficial or as challenging as letting your hips come forward. So one motion with all of your body.
So a good thing to remember is you should always feel like you have to keep your hands on the bench. If you can just take your hands off and just kneel, then you're not putting enough weight through your upper body. Okay, so once you've mastered that, then we can go down to a knee push-up on the floor.
that we can, which Ollie is going to demonstrate now. So, same principles apply here. We're getting more horizontal, so hence more challenging. So we're on our knees. We have a cushion or a towel, in this case, under your knees. And now the target for your chest, your sternum, is the floor. Okay, you can vary the width of your hands, and now there is no limitation to how wide or narrow they can be. Generally, somewhere around shoulder width is a good place to start, but feel free to experiment with that.
Now, if you have any hand or wrist discomfort with getting into that wrist extension position when the floor is flat, as it often is, guys,
yes,
you might try a set of dumbbells as handles, and that allows you to keep your wrists in a more neutral, straight position. A lot of people find that more tolerable. And guys, you can also add like a tea towel or something just to make that softer once again.
Absolutely right. Or if you don't have dumbbells at all, you can get a couple of towels, roll them up into a little ball, and use those instead.
Yeah, so remember, you can play around with your hand position. You can go wider if that's more comfortable or more narrow. Okay, but it's all about just finding a tolerable starting point for your push-ups. And once you've mastered the knee push-up on the floor, guys, you could go to the full body weight.
Could graduate to the full push-up. Should we show them a full push-up?
Yeah, let's show them a full push-up.
I'll let you take that one. I know you're a big fan of the push-up. So hands on the floor still, but now we're on our feet, on our toes, on the balls of our feet. Again, lowering the chest down towards the ground, and perfectly demonstrated a nice straight line between your shoulders and your feet.
So experiment with those options to find the right starting push-up for you. And remember, a good goal is 10 challenging repetitions of a variation that you find tolerable. Hope you enjoyed the video, and let us know in the comments if there are other exercises that you would like help with.